Good morning, Eddy County. I wanted to come to you this morning and talk about something that was really important to me. I was going to go vote in the special elections, these early elections that missed the primary. The primaries, that's a dumb idea. The primaries. Yeah, I never voted in the primaries because I'm an independent, and they were forcing me to register as a Democrat or a Republican, and I ain't gonna be a party to either one of them bastards. They're corrupt, they're crooked. I'm gonna tell you how crooked they are. I'm gonna show you how crooked they are. All right. I talked to my clerk. My clerk's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I have a I have a thing with this. No candidates. No no nobody running against these judges, these commissioners, these counselors, these school board, nobody running against them. If nobody's running against them, what are you voting for? Nobody's running against them. What are you voting for? Hell, no, if nobody went out and voted and the candidate voted for themselves, they would win. Nobody's running against them. All right. We fired Eileen Reardon. We fired her and we put Judge Fingers in her place. And what did that corrupt, treasonous, traitorous, rat bitch Michelle Lujan Grisham do? She brought that corrupt, rubber stamp. What is she? She's not a judge. She's an activist. Eileen Reardon is an activist. She's an activist of the worst kind. She's a communist, traitorous, rat bastard bitch. I don't give a damn what anybody says. My opinion, it is what it is. I called it what it is. I want to read something to you. This is rules. Now y'all already know I got docket numbers. I want to name Eileen Reardon as a defendant. That's what I want to do. Right here it is. 21, chapter 21. Chapter 21, 101. Which forces the judge to strictly comply with the law. Now, I don't know if y'all ever read your own constitutions. If you've never read your own constitutions, all right, Article 2 is something that this judge, every cop, everybody that works for an elected official, that means anybody that gets paid with a tax dollar, every one of these people need to learn this because they come across people and other people's property all day long, every day, and they need to respect those, and they don't. They don't respect us at all. As a matter of fact, they don't respect us so much that they would literally violate your rights because they know you don't know what your rights are. Rule 101, 21, chapter 21. They made a whole chapter on it. Hang on, let me show you. They made a whole chapter just like this. See? The whole chapter. Chapter 30. Okay? They made a whole chapter. This is crime. But what they did in New Mexico is created a nullity and started enforcing that. You see, this is the nullity. Compare this to this. This is what they have to have. It's a must, mandatory thing. They gotta have it. This, they gotta have to make contact with you. If you are not a subordinate getting paid with tax dollars, they gotta have this. This book. They got to have something in this book, and they need to be able to articulate that article or statute that authorizes them to abuse their power, officially misconduct themselves, and breach their oath. All right. Now, that oath is a contract. Under 15.1, it's a contract. They are a corporation, the city, the county, the municipality, the village, whatever you want to call it. They are a corporation. I don't care what you say. It is. And it's in their charters. They know it. All right. 21.101 is one of those things that applies to a judge but doesn't apply to me or you. None of this crap. Nothing in here applies to me and you. Nothing. Not one damn thing. I'm going to tell you why. Because they can't walk up to you, open this book and say, okay, I'm going to charge you with this. Because they have to have probable cause, certifiable probable cause. They've never had that. Every time that a judge brought somebody before them in their court, and that person didn't have a representation or failed to inform the court that they were a pro se litigant, that judge violated Article 2, Section 12 of the New Mexico Constitution. When that judge violated Article 2, Section 12 of the New Mexico Constitution, that judge violated Title 18, 241. Period. That's a 1983 legitimate lawsuit against the judge. And I'm going to tell you why against the judge. Oh, I'm immune. No, you're not. There's no such thing as immunity. It's not enumerated for any judge except for the Supreme Court justices and the president, and that's it. That's in the 10th Amendment. I have it right here. I have it right here. Where did I put that? Okay. I have it right here. The Constitution of the United States of America and the Supremacy Clause and the Constitution, which you argue are the only laws that actually apply to a free citizen who hasn't taken an oath to a code. They don't apply to us. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Every time that you have a cop behind you and he runs your tag, he violated Section 702 of the Federal Code. It's been codified now. Now it's a crime. See, Section 702 gave government, any government, even the cops, permission to surveil, seek and surveil a citizen outside of the United States. You know why they needed permission to do it outside of the United States? Because it's illegal to do it inside the United States. It's a crime. It violates your rights. It violates your First Amendment. For those of you that don't know what your First Amendment is, it's RAPS. It's RAPPS. Freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, freedom to petition your government for redress of grievances, and freedom of speech. And the Second Amendment is there to protect those 5 elements. That's why the Second Amendment is second. And in the state of New Mexico, we have Article 2 that has the equivalent of the United States Constitution, but it is more stringent. It protects your rights more from government abuses of power and official misconduct. The government will say, oh, it was a little bit of overreach. No, it was an act or omission forbidden by law, violated by an official that didn't have the authority to abuse his power, officially misconduct himself, and breach his oath. Once breach has been done, anything that comes after that, anything, I don't care what it is, anything, any ticket, any arrest, any, I don't care what it was, is null and void. They took this, what's in this, the only thing that authorizes them to make contact with the free public. They took this, added it to this, all right? What the state police used to charge you with, okay? They took it and put it in this. civil. You see that? Civil, criminal, New Mexico criminal, and traffic laws. Civil. They didn't want to put that civil in there because it's a nullity. It's a nullity. This whole damn book is a nullity. They've been abusing the preemption doctrine big time. And it's a crime. It's a crime. You do it 3 times and it's a felony. 3 times and it's a felony. It can be a misdemeanor. But that pattern of practice under 18 USC 14141, it's a crime. It's a pattern of practice and it's a felony. And they know it. They know it is. This right here is missing. Is missing. Let me show you. I want to show you because I want you to see. And just because it's missing, this right here, I want to show you. Okay, right here. I want you to see this. This book jumps from 20 to 22. You see that? You see that? They skip the ones that apply to them. Chapter 21. Chapter 21 is missing in that book, making that book a nullity. All right? And anybody that enforces that crap, all right, is violating the preemption doctrine. I'm going to give you the preemption doctrine the way I read it one time, a long time ago, and it stuck in my head for some reason. No governmental subdivision shall enact or enforce a rule, regulation, ordinance, mandate, code, whatever it is, and make it a subject of criminal penalty. It's the way it is. As long as this exists, this is illegal. This is illegal. Just because it's missing chapter 21. It's missing a lot more than that. But it's missing chapter 21. And chapter 21 is codes of judicial conduct. And those judicial conduct codes do not apply to you and I. I've never taken an oath. It bothers me that, those that taken an oath have breached their oath. All of them. You're going to go down to the ballot. You're going to go down to the polls to go vote day after tomorrow. You're going to go vote. And what are you voting for? Whoever's running is going to get the seat anyway. Ain't no sense in voting. We have a bunch of rhinos down there that play to be Republicans because if they really let it know what they were, just look at how they vote. Look at how they vote. Pull up Eileen Reardon. Pull up any of her cases and you'll see what she's a straight up communist, traitorous rat bitch. I don't give a damn what anybody says. And we have several other ones here. Shooter Gray was one. Yeah. Oh man, that was one dirty rat trash bitch, man. I'm telling you. I went before her one time. And she failed to comply with Chapter 21, 101. The 5 cardinal canons. The 5 cardinal canons. Amazing as it may be, because when I went before her, I was going after them. I have all the codes. I have the judicial codes of conduct. I had to print them out because you can't get them in the book like that. Oh no, they don't want you to know what applies to them. If they're not going to tell you that they're breaking the law to say that you're breaking the law. And that's what pisses me off. And it's been pissing me off for 40 years. All right. And I'm going to tell you why there's no immunity. All right. I'm going to tell you there's no immunity because of the 1st, the 5th, and the 14th Amendments. First, you have a right to redress against anybody. It don't matter who it is. In the enumerations clause, judges are not immune. District attorneys are not immune. They're covering for each other. They're complicit. They're in violation of Title 42 USC 1986. All right. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Let me find it right here right quick because I have it. I have all of them right here. Okay. right here it is. All right. A pro se litigant standards of review. Do you think that the judges comply with a pro se litigant standards of review? I wish I could blow this up. I can't hardly see it, but here it is right here. I have it. I have to print them all out because you can't get the book that these come in. You you can't get chapter 21 like I got chapter 30. I got chapter 31 too. I've got a Virginia one. I've got a Texas one. Um, I had an Arkansas one, but I don't remember where I put it. I haven't seen it in a long time. But I've been doing this because I went all over the country and I had to protect my right. I tried protecting my rights by learning what my rights were and found out that, you know what? You can't have court on the side of the road. You can't have court on the side of the road. What am I going to do when I'm on the side of the road standing next to somebody with a gun, a badge, a bunch of lights, and a bunch of buddies coming with more guns? What am I supposed to do? First thing I need to do is learn what they are doing. What I'm doing is irrelevant. They can't accuse me of a crime where I'd be on the ground with handcuffs behind my back in the back seat of a car. See, all that bullshit don't apply to me. It don't apply to me. I don't make a victim. It don't apply to me. You got to have a victim to have a crime. You got to have a crime to be able to make probable cause. Everything that the cops have been doing, that the judges have been doing, that the district attorneys have been doing is abuse of power, official misconduct, and breach of their oath. And then they'll come at me one day or another with their intimidation, their coercion, and their threats. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to serve them notice of liability, and this is how I'm going to do it. You notice the agent is notice the principal, and I'll wait till I'm in the back seat of the car, keep calm, don't say nothing until they put me in the back of the car. Once I'm in the back of the car, I'm going to serve them notice of liability for deprivation of rights under the color of law, and I'm going to do it just like this. I'm going to show you right now. You need to articulate the article of statute that authorizes you to abuse your power, officially misconduct yourself, and breach your oath. I hereby, as Jesus Margarito Garcia, serve you notice of liability for those deprivations under Article 2, Section 3, Section 17 and 18 of the New Mexico Constitution, under the 1st, 4th, 5th, 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution, under Chapter 30, 13, 17, and 18 of the New Mexico Criminal Code, and then Title 18, 241, 242 of the United States Code. And that's how you serve them notice of liability for deprivation of rights. Notice the agent is notice the principal. Notice the principal is notice the agent. Anybody that views this video is complicit in the crime. If you viewed this video, you are complicit in the crime under Title 42, 1986. And that's how you need to serve liability. Eddy County, I just got to tell you, I have a whole lot more, and I'm going to do some more videos. I'm going to do some more videos because I want to go through over Basso, Utah, and Maine Beach Boat, and Shramic v. Shramic, and Hagens v. Levine, and there's a lot of cases that I like reading precedents. I like reading precedents. I don't care. I like reading the law. I like going through this shit. I like going through code. I'm waiting for the stupid day that one idiot makes contact with me without a crime. Because I'm not going to say a word. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to ask him, as soon as he walks up, I'm going to ask him to articulate the article and statute that authorizes him to abuse his power and officially misconduct himself and breach his oath. Because he can't charge me with a crime. And under the 4th Amendment, a crime is required for contact. Whether it's probable cause, exigent circumstances, and I would never give one of them sons of bitches consent. I'll talk to them, but it ain't consensual. As long as they're in uniform, it ain't consensual. It's official. You serve them notice in their official and personal capacity. There's no such thing as immunity, not even for a judge. You can find that in Milligan v. U.S. 71, Article 2, Section 98. And anything that they try to throw at you that violates your rights, that's contrary to your rights, is a Marbury v. Madison 2 or 5 branch violation. And you can do that under Title 18 or under Title 42. And a pro se litigant standards has never been complied with by judges. Oh, it's at my discretion. No, it's not. It's your responsibility to follow the law or be complicit in the violation. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or ways, two ways about it. That's why the judge was supposed to honorably hold his position. Y'all have a nice day, Eddy County. I'm going to do this some more. I'm really going to do this some more because we need to go through all of this crap. I have a bunch of it. I have all 5 cardinal cannons right here. Look, I have all the cannons right here. Look at that. Get a good shot at that. All right. I have all the cannons right here. You know which one I want to show y'all? Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me one more minute. Right here. Right here. Right here is the duty to report. You see that? Look at that. Duty to report. All right. Report violations. H. Duty to report. Judicial employees shall immediately report any violation or perceived violation of the law by a judicial employee or judge. Why would you have to report a judge? I thought they were immune. Judicial employees shall also immediately report any violation of this code by another judicial employee. Reports shall be made to the applicable supervisor, administrator, judge, or as provided by rule. No, rules don't apply. Rodriguez v. U.S. Rodriguez v. U.S. says rules are not law. But they say that judicial employees shall not be subject to retaliation for reporting violations of such report if such report is made in good faith. Judicial employees shall report to their court, executive officer, administrative authority, any personal violation of the law or charge immediately. That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm going to tell you why it's a bunch of bullshit. Title 18, 1951. Or you just look up Title 18, 1951, and you'll see that these people do not have the authority to investigate themselves. They don't have that authority, and reporting them to themselves is a stupid idea. It needs to go to the proper jurisdiction, and the FBI is the only one with proper jurisdiction. Internal affairs is not the proper jurisdiction. You can read that in Title 18, 1951. Police should never be investigating themselves, ever. The state police should never be investigating the county police. The county police should never be investigating the municipalities, and all the way down. It shouldn't go that way. As soon as a violation is done by an official, somebody wearing a badge or holding a badge, that's a 1951. That's a USC 18, 1951 violation that needs to be investigated by the FBI. There's no such thing as internal affairs. These other bullshit agencies that claim to be investigatory, no, they're cover-up. They're there for cover-up. And you see it all the time. I know y'all do. I'm sure y'all watch the YouTube videos, I read and look up stuff, and then I print it out. I read it. I want to make sure that when somebody's making contact with me, they have the authority and the jurisdiction to do it. That's what 1986 is. Those that know and have the authority have the responsibility. And failure to do so makes you complicit in the act. Y'all have a nice day, Eddy County. We're going to do this again.